Hello and welcome. My name is Ken Eagle, and in this video we're going to take a look at the velocity control solution from Atlona and see exactly why this product is disrupting the control market, and integrators everywhere are turning to this product to see what it's all about. Now, to get started, let's first take a step back and talk about traditional control and see how that gets us to where we are today with the Atlona solution. So let's start with a building where we have 3 rooms of AV. In each room, we're going to need a control processor set up to control the AV inside of each of those rooms. And let me flow up to a bigger view here. And that means, since we have a processor in each room, we're going to need this guy with his laptop to go around to each room and program each of those controllers individually for the unique room. Now that creates its own set of problems too, because we've got to get this guy out on site into each one of these locations, which means no one can be using the room at the time. And what about the data? How do we back up the information on each one of those individual processors? Does it get saved to a thumb drive? Is it set there on the shelf next to the processor? Is it brought back to the office? So the physical media is a bit of a challenge. And how do we back these up and restore them in times of need? Next, you're also going to need somebody with a graphics background probably to come around and create stylized touch panels to match the look and feel each customer may want. So traditional control, while has served us well, definitely presents its own set of challenges. So put this notion aside for a moment and let's take a look at the way velocity has been engineered by Atlona to provide control. We have a building, and in this building again we have 3 rooms that we want to control the AV. So rather than putting a processor in each room, what we're going to do with Velocity is put one processor on the network. Then each of the items inside of each room that we want to control via IP or via AV, we're going to control them via IP. So that means if they have an IP port on them, we're going to talk directly to them. Otherwise, we're going to use a device called the Velocity Control Converter, which I'll show you in a moment. And we're going to convert IR, RS-232 traffic to and from IP so we can talk to those devices. So now with one single controller, we're going to use IP to talk to each one of those rooms, configure them, and in the background, while we're simply configuring these rooms and loading the devices in, Velocity is going to go ahead and build a touch panel interface for us on the fly, saving time and efficiency so we can get the system up and running quickly and easily. And when your customer sees this and loves what you've put together, they're going to ask you, how can I do this for my other rooms in the building on different floors or my different buildings on the campus? No problem. They can all tie into that same velocity control processor that we built. Again, you can leverage the work you've already done now and get these other rooms up and running as well. One other thing you can do here also, let me change the view so you can see my slide again, is offer a second velocity gateway so that you have redundancy in your solution. Since we're using a single processor and everything's on the network, if for some reason we lost control to that closet or that rack where that velocity gateway is stored at, you could lose control of your panels in the rooms. This is why it's important to also use a backup velocity gateway. And these two link together. They're mirror images of each other. They work from a single IP address, and every device on the network and every touch panel will feed back into either the master or the backup solution, and you will never go down. You'll be up and running using your velocity control system all the time. So redundancy, peace of mind for your customers, simple solution when using velocity. All right, let's take a look at the velocity control converter. This is how you're going to talk to devices on the network that are not natively IP ready. Maybe they don't have an RJ45 connector on the back and you can't talk to them. You'll use this device here in the center called the Velocity Control Converter. If you could see the end of it over here, you'd see that there is an RJ45 on the back of that. Connect this to the network. This guy's a little mini computer. It'll get an IP address, and then you'll connect to it a device like this one here at the top, which will allow you to plug in one end and will give you 1, 2, 3 individual IR emitters that are addressable, and you can control devices. You also have a contact closure and an RS-232 converter in here as well. So you can control anything you need to over the IP network now and talk to it from your Velocity control solution. So you look at this single control solution from Velocity now with the cloud, 4 different rooms here, a single processor, and from within the Velocity software now, you can see each of these rooms, and through the Atlona management system, this is your asset management tool built into Velocity, you can see all of the individual products that are in each of the rooms, the IP addresses for those. You can group them into the rooms that they're in, and you can now easily configure the AV control for each of your rooms and manage assets across your network, simply from on-site or from off-site with the Velocity approach. So you know a little bit now about what the Velocity system is. Let's talk about how you would pitch this to your customer and what are some of the things you might say about Velocity. First, what is Velocity? Well, Velocity is a tool for controlling an AV application that allows an integrator to easily offer a complete end-to-end solution. You're already using Atlona switches, Atlona AV over IP products to build the infrastructure to allow all these devices to communicate. Now layer Velocity on top of that, and it gives you simple control and asset management. It's an end-to-end solution from Atlona. Now, there are a lot of different control brands out there. Why Velocity? Well, Velocity is powerful control and customization for just a fraction of the effort and the cost of competing solutions. To learn Velocity is very simple. You can easily make the purchase for Velocity. To learn how to use Velocity, we offer both online and live instructor-led training, so the barrier to entry to get up and running on it is very low. It's easy to use Velocity. You're going to need a web browser and access to your network, and you're going to be able to learn how to watch our videos and learn how to configure and set up the Velocity control system. And from a cost standpoint, we have a really unique pricing model for Velocity that you can buy at different levels based on the size of the application you need, which makes it very affordable for you and for your customers. Now, let's switch back here where you can see my entire slide without my head in the way. What makes Velocity unique? Well, Velocity is an entirely cloud-based solution with remote configuration and management. So that means we're doing everything over IP, as we talked about earlier. And from a installation and from a management standpoint, for an integrator, it's really easy to set up and get running. You can do everything from a central location. Remember that first example, the guy with the laptop who had to go around to each room? You don't need to do that anymore. From one central location on your customer site or through the cloud from your remote location, you can easily connect in and access your customer system on the fly without having to roll a truck even, and be able to make updates and configure that system for your customer. And finally, what are some of the key applications for Velocity? Well, there's probably too many for me to list here, but in general, certain corporate enterprise solutions and education solutions are perfect for Velocity control system. Also government applications, hospitality applications, and I would encourage you to jump out to Atlona.com and look at our case studies where you'll see where Velocity is being used in so many applications around the world. Velocity, now in our 2.0 release, includes AMS, room scheduling, BYOD for AV control, and cloud access, and can be purchased in a couple of different configurations you see on the chart here. The first listed, the HW3, is our 3-room version of the Velocity control system. Below that, you'll see you can purchase it in a 10-room configuration as well as a 20-room configuration. And below that, you see we offer it in a software configuration as well. So if you need up to 20 rooms, a very large solution with 40 rooms of room scheduling, you can purchase the software version of Velocity, install it on your own enterprise-grade server, and you can also purchase additional room licenses for that if needed. Now let's look at a couple of the cool features here behind Velocity. First, system redundancy. We talked about that earlier. You can pair 2 Velocity gateways together, create that redundant control solution. remote servicing from the cloud, which we talked a little bit about as well, meaning that as an integrator you have access to the complete solution to your the complete AV solution of your customer, on-site or off-site through the cloud. Another great advantage of this is you even have the ability to create an account for tech support. So if you're troubleshooting remotely and you're looking for some assistance from Atlona, you can work with our tech support team and allow them into your solution to help you with configurations as well. AV Asset Management is the AMS software that's built into the Velocity Control solution, which allows you to see and manage and report on all of the Atlona hardware inside of your customer solutions. With Velocity, you also have fully customizable control interface. That means you can tailor the look and feel to your customer's exact needs. Any kind of backgrounds, colors, layouts that you need, you can program in conditional logic, control logic, very intuitive control. Not only can you use the Velocity control panel for this, but you can use wireless, other wireless devices like Android or Apple panels or phones as well to do this on. And now room scheduling is built into Velocity 2.0, so that comes with your purchase. That gives you the ability to put room scheduling panels outside of each of your different rooms and allow someone to immediately see the status of that room, see who's using it, or even right from the panel request the ability to reserve that room at that time or at another date and time as well. And this works natively with the Office 365 or Google Calendar applications. Another advantage you have with Velocity is the ability to purchase unique room scheduling panels, which give you these LED lights across the sides of it, which helps visually see if the room is available or busy by illuminating with a color like green or red, and allows someone from down the hall to see a room at a distance away and immediately know if that room is maybe available or is being used at this moment in time. Velocity also natively works with some real important applications out there, like the Cisco Touch 10 solution. You can use Velocity directly with this, and Zoom Rooms as well. Big advantage with Zoom Rooms is that you can use the one Atlona Velocity panel to run both your Zoom interface and control your room. Many other solutions would require two touch panels, one for the room and one for Zoom. Velocity allows you to do it all out of one. Video walls are another great advantage. Video wall configuration is a web browser and a user-friendly graphic user interface that will easily facilitate of the display array as well as the display orientation. Note you can rotate your screens in portrait or landscape. Makes it really easy to use consumer grade displays if your customer is using those. And also, this will also include bezel compensation. You've also got this really simple to use drag and drop functionality that'll let you visually lay out your display array, and then you can dynamically assign any input source to one or more of the displays on the video wall. So very easy to use, very powerful. You can even create custom drop zones, giving your customer the ability to drop their sources into the zones where they want to see them. So real powerful functionality with video walls as well. And virtual reality as well. This has become a real popular, especially in education environments. If you're looking for a solution for a virtual reality application, OmniStream works great for this, especially when combined with the Velocity control system. But OmniStream gives you the resolution and the frame rate necessary to be able to do the virtual reality over a network scenario. Now that we've talked a little bit about Velocity and got a feel for it, let's jump in and have a look at the interface. So on my screen now is my Velocity dashboard. I've now connected my computer to my Velocity gateway. I've logged in. Here I'm at the dashboard, and I've already created a couple of rooms. So let's jump in and take a look at one of those. Right here from my list of rooms, I'm going to click on this first one here called the Zoom Room. I've created a small Zoom room so we can have a quick peek at that. This here is the technology view of my room. you can see in the Zoom room here, I do have an Atlona HDVS camera that we're going to use as the camera for this Zoom room for video conference. The core of my solution here is going to be an Omega MS42. That's a matrix switcher, presentation switcher, really ideal for small to medium conference rooms and things like Zoom rooms or any kind of soft codec room. Works great for it. I'm going to have a source as a guest laptop in this room, and a Samsung TV that's on the wall so we can have a display in there. We'll use a speakerphone, microphone on the tabletop for audio input and playback, and a Zoom computer that's based in the room as well. And I've loaded in this Zoom Room module that's actually part of the Velocity package, which allows Zoom to run natively right within Velocity. This is a really great feature, actually. When you have a Zoom account, you can put your account information, your username, password right into this module here. Let me click on that and show you the edit view. You can log right in and edit that. You can put your user information right in here. And once you do that, when you connect into Zoom, you'll be able to log directly into the system. So it's a really great feature. One of the things that's really unique about Atlona and Zoom is that you can use your one Velocity control touch panel to control the room and to control that Zoom room connection as well. I know in a lot of systems you're required to have two touch panels, one to control the room, one to control your Zoom interface. Here, one of the advantages with Velocity is you can do both out of one location. So there's a quick look at the sources I've added into my Velocity room. This is really something that as an integrator you'll use this screen to configure and add your devices in. Let's take a look at the MS42 here real quick. You can see I've got an MS42 here, and I have gone ahead and configured this MS42. Nice thing about Velocity, there's no programming code to have to learn here. You can learn all this through our hands-on classes or through our online Atlona Academy program and videos. And you can see here, it's just configuration. I've gone in and configured the inputs on this MS42 that I'll have a guest laptop on here, and I want an icon to show on my touch panel. And we use HDMI 1 and HDMI 2 as inputs, and I'll use HDMI 1 as an output to that Samsung display here. So let me jump out and let me click on the launch control icon here and show you what the touch panel will actually look like. So when a presenter walks into the room, this is what they'll see on the touch panel. A button to turn the room on, a button to launch directly into video if they just want to use the room for presentation, or a button to launch directly into Zoom if they're going to run a Zoom conference. So I'm going to click on the video button right here. We'll launch right in, and you can see right away I have a guest laptop, and I can, as a presenter, very quickly just drag and drop that right to my display, have that guest laptop's source display go right up onto my wall display. If I want to see the Zoom PC, I can drag that on. And in this configuration here, I've even enabled it so that I could control my camera and see my camera feed directly. Notice I got a remote that pops right up to control that camera. I could have a remote for any device, a TV, a switch, a DSP, whatever you wanted to control. You can have a remote pop up for that device, and that remote panel is completely customizable, so you can build it however you like. Notice right from this menu here, just like I saw from that home screen when I walked into the room, there's a navigate button here, which allows me to jump directly out to conferencing if I wanted to run that Zoom room. And if I had a Zoom account and I was logged in, I could go ahead and meet right now. I could see a meeting list. I could join an existing meeting. I could share my devices here to present into the meeting. Even have a phone dialer I could dial right in. So there you have a quick look at the Velocity interface. There's obviously so many pieces, so much configuration you can do, custom GUIs you can build, all kinds of different macros and events that can be programmed into here. But you get a quick look at the visual interface here. Very easy to use. And to see more examples of this, head out to Atlona.com and go through our Velocity modules. You can also find those on our YouTube channel or in Atlona Academy. Always want to remind everyone to take a look at us on Atlona Academy. Take a look at our Atlona Academy education options to learn more about how to use Velocity. We offer a very large array of videos available to show you how to use the Velocity control system to be successful with this. It's a great tool and a great simple way to get up and running fast using Atlona Academy to do your education. You can see us online at atlona.com/training to get access to the Academy courses. Also, if you were looking to take a deeper step with Atlona and become a certified partner, you can go through our Academy curriculum, become a certified solution provider with Atlona by accessing all of our valuable courses in there. And of course, always remember to check us out online. If you're already at an installation on a job site and you've got access to the internet from a mobile device, this is a great way to jump on, quickly get access to those training videos, and be able to avoid maybe a tech support call, because you can get assistance right online through our videos on how to set that up. So I would encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see all the latest videos and updates that we make. Here's some contact information for you. And as always, I would encourage you to visit atlona.com for all of your Atlona product and solution needs. Thank you for your time.